What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Tony Max. Y'all know I do it to the max. Coming back at y'all again with another fantastic episode of Truth to Life, where we discuss real-life issues that affect real people in real, everyday life. Now, in today's issue, you guys, we're going to be discussing the way you start a thing is the exact same way that you finish. Well, what do you mean, Tony Max? This particular philosophy is ubiquitous in life and as it applies to everything in your life. So, I hope you got your pen and your pad. You ready? Come on, let's dig in. Okay, you guys, I got my first classic car. I really enjoy me a nice slab. A slab is a classic car, fixed up the way that you want it fixed up, right? For those of you guys that don't understand. So I got it, and the very first thing I did, I went to work on that joker there. Man, I went and got I went in on the engine first, the suspension system. I went in on the tires and all this correct first. Make sure the transmission and all that is right, the rear end differentials. Got all that straight first, right? Then I went into the electronics, the electrical system of the car. Made sure my windows and doors, the rear heating, defrost, etc. Electric pump, trunk popping. All these mechanisms were in place. The seats were working right. Then you go into the actual appearance, the upholstery. So I went into that, and the very last thing I did was the paint. After I completed all these things, got my car riding the way I wanted to ride, got it looking the way I wanted to look, got me some nice rims on it, which is what we also refer to as shoes. I put some nice shoes on her and we were good to go. That was my girl and we were taking over the world, right? All right. So after you've done everything, then what's necessary? Maintenance. I had to check my fluids every couple of weeks, if not every week. Worst case scenario, every month. But I'm a guy, and we as men, we're not going to let it go that long without us paying attention to it. Those of us who are mechanically inclined, as well as those of us who are actually in the know about mechanical items, whatever they may be. Well, you check your transmission fluid on the regular. You check to make sure that you have your antifreeze and your oil is changed regularly, and power steering fluids and all of your greases and oils that need to be maintained and filled and topped off in your vehicle on a regular basis. Why is this important? I'll tell you why. If you run low on your transmission fluid, what will happen is that your transmission will begin to slip. So now you're not getting the same traction. You're not able to pick up speed as quickly as you previously were prior to your levels dropping low. Your oil. If your oil runs too low, what happens? You're taking a severe, significant, and very dangerous chance of your engine being ruined as a result of it not having the necessary oil. Oil to an engine in a car is like the blood that we have that gives us life to flow. So without blood or too low of blood, we're out of there. No more life. Same exact logic with your car. Without blood in your car, without oil in your car, oil is the blood of your engine, transmission fluid is the blood of your transmission. Here's the logic. If you don't maintain your tires and your tires go bald because all you're doing is just driving, you're going here, you're going there, might burn out, might have to make a few quick stops, etc. Over time, those tires wear thin. The tread wears very thin, and what happens then? The dangers of that is when it rains, you're taking a greater chance on slipping and hydroplaning in the rain, which can cause an accident. An accident can cause a potential loss of life. See how these things snowball? Okay. I said all of that, you guys, to say this. I'm going to give you two guys, right? One is my kinfolk. I ain't going to say his name, but I'm just going to call him my kinfolk. Well, my kinfolk is very similar. He conducts himself in a very similar way that I do as far as women are concerned. He keeps his foot on their neck. I'm gonna keep my foot on your neck from day one to the last breath I breathe, because that's just how I rock, that's how I move. Same thing with him. Here's how that's important. To this day, him and his woman are still together. She's in it with him through thick and thin to the end. You know why? Because she recognizes that he's a Sigma male. Sigma meaning, I don't need you. I don't have to have you. I'm not finna chase behind you, and I'm definitely not finna cater to your every whim. You're going to follow my program, or you will be on the highway, period. And as soon as you get out of line the first time, I'm gonna check you, and I'm gonna check you so hard that you'll never want that experience again, so that as a result of your initial checking experience, you closely maintain how you conduct yourself with your man. Now, how does that relate to the story? Well, there's another guy that I ran across, and this guy has been a pretty passive guy. He's a cool guy, but you know, he's a buddy of mine as well, but he let a lot slide. Oh, I ain't gonna pay no attention to that. Oh, she just tripping. Oh, she don't mean that. On and on and on, making excuses for the woman, right? Well, that relationship, I think it lasted about 2-3 years max. My kinfolk been with his wife. They weren't officially married at that time, but my kinfolk been with his wife, for 20-something years now, probably 30 years. I don't know. It's been a while. He's been with her since forever. Here's how that relates to the main point. The way you start a thing is the same way you finish. So if you start off passive aggressive, you'll end passive aggressive. And 9 out of 10 times, since a woman cannot respect a man that is not a Sigma male, then she gonna either cheat on you, or y'all gonna break up for whatever other reasons that may come up, that may present themselves. See, the problem, you guys, is that you have so many of these sensitive, passive, feminine, estrogen-fueled and led guys in today's generation that the real men, I'm talking rugged men, Sigma men, it's hard to find us because we don't need women. We need women as far as childbearing in that perspective. And if we really want a relationship, then obviously we need a woman. I'm only speaking to nuclear thinking, functioning people, according to how God designed things to be originally, right? So it goes like this. I got a buddy that was in a relationship with this woman, and they were in a relationship for 1,000,000 years. I mean, he said, since they were 18, I ain't gonna put the man's business out there, but just to give you guys a real life picture of how things play out, he got with this woman, and this is what he told me. He said initially when they first got together, she was doing a little bit of tripping, but he was letting it slide. And he was telling me that he thought that, okay, well, you know, maybe she'll change, and, you know, maybe I can get her right a little bit later. You can get her right, but you're gonna have to keep your foot on her neck from day one. That's the thing. All relationships, whether it's your children or your relatives or your parents, every relationship, every human interaction that is consistent and lasts over long periods of time demand maintenance. If you do not maintain your relationship on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, it won't last long. It can't. Why? Because you're just driving till the tires go bald, and eventually you're gonna have a wreck. You're running all of the oil out of the engine without and ignoring the check engine light. Check engine light is blinking red, flashing. Hey, look out, I got problems. I'm finna blow up. You gotta take care of me, please. Give me some more blood. I need resuscitation. I need pints and pints and pints of blood. You can't just keep running me like this. But what do? You ignore it. The red light'll go away. It's not a big problem. It'll fix itself, and the inevitable ends up happening. Why? Because of you, dear sir. Because of you, dear lady. You did not exercise the fundamentals of life. Period. These are the fundamentals of life. I don't care if you are a freaking hobo. If you're a hobo, vagrant, homeless, if you are a hobo, guess what? You still got to take a shower at some time. You still got to use soap and water in order to do so. You still got to brush your teeth, because if you don't, they're going to fall out. If you don't shower or bathe somewhere, somehow, you'll develop diseases on your skin, and you have to maintain your body, your mouth, your eyes, your hair by feeding it whatever products that you have to feed it in order for it to be healthy. You have to feed your skin certain types of specialized lotion to feed your skin and keep it healthy, because we all have different skin types. This is not rocket science, people. It is common sense, but unfortunately, common sense is no longer common practice. People think that they can do anything that they want to do, and we attempt to mitigate extremes of relationship turmoil by ignoring them. You cannot ignore something and hope that it'll go away. You have to give it attention, and extreme, urgent attention, 911, or it's finished. So the moral of the story, you guys, is if you start something off wrong or bad, that's the same way it's going to end up. Sure, it may last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, but what happens? You've invested all of this time. Basically, you've wasted it, because there's no fruition of long-term benefit to the grave. That's what marriage is supposed to be, as it's originally created and designed by God, till do you part. I believe those are the vows. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe till do you part. Maybe that was just a suggestion. Till do you part if you're not feeling like you're loved. If he doesn't buy you flowers every 15 minutes and compliment you every 3 minutes. If she does something or doesn't do something. I mean, come on, man, stop. Marriage is a practical decision. It's not one that's based on love. It's not one that's based on feelings. It's one that should and is supposed to be based on practicality. Hey, I'm a woman, I need a man. Hey, I'm a man, I need a woman, because I want to raise children. I need to extend my bloodline. And that's how that goes. We need each other to extend our bloodlines. As men, it's what we do. So, ladies, for those of you who may be listening and getting offended, do your best, if you can, to stultify your emotions just for a moment, long enough to allow logic and practicality to be applied. And then and only then will you see the big picture, the long run of what this ultimately and how this ultimately will benefit you. Know your position, stay in your position, and play your position to the best of your ability. And even when you find yourself lacking, pick up some books, watch some videos, listen to some audiobooks to learn how to be a better wife to your husband. And by virtue of you becoming the best position player that you can, your husband will eventually pick up his side, if he hasn't already, if he's not currently already doing so and waiting for you. There's no I in team. And a marriage is a team. It's a unification. And y'all are supposed to move as one. You're not going your direction and he's going his direction. Both of you are moving in the same direction of longevity, for the ultimate goal of a successful relationship. It's not all about the man. It's not all about the woman. It's about the family unit, ultimately. And it's a hierarchy. Everyone has to play their positions. The quarterback can't be the fullback. The blocker, the lineman, can't be the quarterback. Everyone has to play their positions. They are specifically hired at being the best for specific positions. How is this confusing? Anyway, hey, thank y'all for coming to the channel. I hope you learned something. I hope you took notes. Thanks for the love and support. I'm back off of my hiatus. I've been really busy. I'll explain that in another video. But hey, till next we meet, peace and progress to you, baby. Thanks for the love. Holla at your boy.